Guys, I want to make a really strong point right now. Exposure isn't everything. I see so often that musicians are going on to social media or open forums or wherever, and they're talking about how they just need more exposure. Okay, they need exposure on SoundCloud or Reverb Nation or Twitter or Facebook or wherever. It doesn't. They think that they have this false belief. Okay, and it is a false belief that if they just put themselves out there enough, that someone will just find them and take care of everything else. Okay, and I mean everything else in their music career. It's actually going to make it sustainable and give them the life that they want. Okay, now the fact is that stuff can happen, but the odds for that happening are so freaking low that it's like you're playing the shittiest odds possible. It's like you're going into Vegas and you're going over to, and I'm not actually much of a gambler. I've played Texas Hold'em, but I imagine there's certain games that you can gamble at when you go into Vegas where the odds are better and certain ones where the odds are worse. So when it comes to getting what you want, why would you play crappy odds? Why wouldn't you want to go for something that has a much higher chance of success? And the thing is most musicians, they don't work smart. They don't know how to work smart. So I'm just saying, increase your odds, okay? And you do this by working very hard to build your fan base yourself. Now, if you don't have a lot of resources to start out with, like you don't have a manager, a booker, or an agent, or whatever, then you got to start with what you have. But if you do have that, then you're going to have to utilize that team as best you can to make your fan base bigger, to prove that more and more people will come to see your shows, and beyond that, you want to show that they'll purchase from you, that they'll buy albums, because the fact is the person in your head that you're thinking is going to come along and make everything better, whether it's like, you know, a major label executive or an A&R rep for a major label, or maybe even just a label that's larger than the one you're on, or maybe you're not on a label at all and you just want to work with a small independent label. I mean, that's something you really actually have to get clear on what you're aiming for. But regardless of what it is, like if you want someone to come onto your team, okay, to invest their time in your music career, you have to show that there's people behind you, that there's fans behind you backing you. And a lot of times, I think musicians, they do it backwards, okay? Like they want those people to come help them when they haven't even really paid their dues first, okay? And I know you probably feel like you've paid your dues playing shows and like hustling your butt off, but this is very hard work, okay? There's no getting around it. You have to go beyond just the hard work that you're doing now. But if you do, then people will start to notice, okay? Then the right people will start to notice. Influential people will come into your space, and you need to work to build your fan base by any means necessary. I mean, there's some artists that they just do YouTube. They play the YouTube angle where they release a high quality video cover of a song once a week, and that gets search traffic. They land on their YouTube page, they subscribe to them, and they're coming back. And then down the line, once you've built this YouTube fan base, then you release a high quality single of an original that you wrote. Okay, that's one angle of working. And another is to just hustle at the live shows, okay? And focus on building up your fans on social media, but also getting the fans that go to your live shows onto your social media, and more importantly, getting those fans onto your email list so you can start building really, really solid relationships with your fans, okay? Now, having all this stuff in place is what influential people in the music industry look for. They're going to look for, like, how many people are coming to your shows? How many CDs are you selling? How much merchandise are you selling? What's your fan engagement? That's one thing they really, really look for, is fan engagement. How much engagement do you have on Twitter, on Facebook? Now, Facebook is going to be hard to get a lot of engagement on there, but I'm going to be making some other videos and be talking how you can leverage that, fit your Facebook to get better results from that. But the point I'm trying to make is that you exposure just isn't enough. You have to have all this other stuff in addition to being exposed. Because, I mean, your face in your, if we talk about it in just the most ridiculous sense, we could take your face and slap it on a billboard with your band name and your Bandcamp at URL or your website URL all across the country, and you'll have the most exposure anyone could ever have. But if someone shows up, but if like you just have a Bandcamp there with one track, or you have like a website that's never been updated, and so they see the billboard and they go to www.yourbandname.com, they show up there and it's this crappy web 1.0 site that hasn't been updated in forever, guess what? That exposure didn't mean anything. So I want you to really, really understand that exposure isn't everything. You need to hustle all this other stuff I'm talking about and either build your team or be working to get yourself into a label to start helping you out with all the other stuff. Okay, so I hope that helped you out. If you have any questions that you'd like to see answered in another video or any topics covered, just leave a comment in the box below. If you're on the YouTube page, it's right below. If you're watching from the Seeds of Music page, then it's also below as well. So just leave it there and it might show up in the next Seeds of Music vlog time. See you.